Ooh, JC's here already. Ooh, let's get this party started. All right, there we go. So, who is here this evening? All right, let's go back to the beginning. JC's here. John's here. Stuber Steber. I have, dude. Dion, what's happening, Dion? Come on. Having issues with Facebook again, as usual. All right, Angela Wilson, good evening. Stan, is that George? George Cancel 172. Okay. No Jones. What's happening? No Jones. Vibes. Simo. Jeff Jerzik, how you doing? More likes can attract more viewers. Keep it up. Cool beans. Tyler Alexander, what's happening? Alex Yogi. D Brand. Joe Smith. Porky. How's it going, Porky? Jeff Jerzik, hello. Michael Venable. What's happening, Michael Venable? Echo Love, Cool Beans, Mohit, Chris, J. Chris, Upnatum, interesting name. Okay, is what it is. Jefferson Steele, back again. Danny Sowell. Danny's OL. Okay. Mikey, hi James. What do you think about General Motors? I love General Motors. Well, let's check it out. General Motors sounds like a great stock to start the evening with, so let's do it. All right, look at my hair. It's a mess. Dow turning around. Well, cool beans. Let's find out. Okay, Mikey wants to take a look at General Motors. General Motors. GM. Well, here we go. Here's General Motors right here. First and foremost, we're always looking at the same things over and over again. All right, so having issues on Facebook is what it is. Okay, here we go. First and foremost, my name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Now, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, 1% a week does come to over 50% per year. Okay, now I only use pre-qualified dividend stocks, and those pre-qualified dividend stocks are companies that have consistently increased their profits to their shareholders. So we're talking 2 decades, bare minimum, 2 decades, 20 years of increased profitability. Now you might be asking, well, how can you do that? Well, very simple. The stock market's been around for over 400 years. And if you can't find a halfway decent amount of companies that are consistently profitable out of 400 years, then you're not just looking hard enough. Okay, we got the Dividend Kings. 54 companies that have been continuously profitable for 5 decades. That's 50 years. Then you got the Dividend Aristocrats. 25 years of consistent profitability. And then Dividend Champions. Again, 25 years of consistent profitability. And then I'm going to throw in the Dividend Contenders, 10 to 24 years of consistent profitability. And then just for the fun of it, if it's good enough for Warren Buffett, it's going to be good enough for me. So anything on Warren Buffett's list, I'll be more than happy to invest in or take a look at, one or the other. So that being said, simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% a week. That's over 50% per year. Buy and hold stocks. Dollar General has weekly options and increasing dividends. Looking at the 1-year chart, it looks inviting. Still, if you chase it, what are your thoughts? Okay, buy and hold stocks. Hold up 1 second. We're going to do General Motors first, and then we'll jump on Dollar General because I love Dollar General, and it is on my list. And you're right, they do have some good dividends, and they do have some good profitability. Well, let's take a look at General Motors. First and foremost, always the 1-year chart. 1-year chart, here's our high right there, right around 61. Our bottom's right here. What is that, around 38? Right? A year ago, we're at 42. Jump up to 62. Drop back down. We're currently at 47.03. Well, look what's going on right here. Okay, we'll look at that in a little bit, but what do the numbers look like? What am I buying this thing for? 47.30. Well, the 47.50s are going for 90 cents. Okay, That's over 2%. Now, I love 2% a week because 2% a week, I got to write this one down. Because 2% a week, if you think about it, 2% a week comes to over 100% per year. But can you get 2% every single week? I don't know. Well, let's find out. All right. A year ago, General Motors was at 45.37. Okay, so 45.37 a year ago. The bottom of the year was in the beginning of August, and that was 38.84. The high of the year, well, that was the end of November at 58.90. Well, from there, look at the last 90 days. Now, we're looking for the same thing in the 90-day chart as we did in the 30-day chart. The high, the low, where was it, where is it, and what's the current movement? Well, look, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Well, had a big gap down here on last Thursday. Friday was a little bit down. Today, a nice strong uptrend for today. But it's still not there because I'm looking for a 30-day bottom. So let's zoom in and take a look at the 30-day bottom. Well, 30 days ago, here's where we are. Whoops. I need a little bit more to look at. So we're going to do that. Well, no, that wasn't a good thing. Let's try it one more time. All right, we got the whole thing now. All right. Where was I? All right, so 30 days ago, we're right here. She drops down, shoots up nicely. Now, she goes from 44 to 53, which is a $9. A $9 from here. The bottom here, 44, to 53 high is a $9 increase. Now, a $9 increase on a $45 stock, that's where it was when she first started making her move, that's a 20% increase. Well, at 20% increase, well, of course there's going to be profit taking. So last Wednesday was the 30-day high. It drops and it keeps going down. Today is going to be the new 30-day bottom in just a few days. Because in 2 or 3 days, this is going to drop off and this will be the new 30-day bottom. Okay, so I like 2 days to the upside. Now that could be tomorrow and Wednesday, which means the earliest I'd jump into this thing is probably next Monday. Because all my money's gone. It's Monday night. All my money has been invested. I invest all my money Monday. Hey, look at that. Who gave me that? Oh, forgot who that was. So I invest all my money on Monday because that's where I get the biggest bang for my buck. Because I'm selling options. And when you sell options, you got time value to take into consideration. So 9:30 a.m. on Monday to 4 p.m. on Friday is the maximum amount of time you're ever going to get on a weekly option. Because there is nothing before 9:30 a.m. and there is nothing after 4 p.m. That's the maximum amount of time. So if that's what I'm selling, well, all my money's already been invested. Let's see what we got here. Traders ADA. Okay, Antoine wants to take a look at, what's that? Alcoa and Apache. All right, Antoine, we'll take a look at those. Glod, check it out, please. Glod. Never heard of Glod before. Did you know that the heart and made of the same muscle? Cool beans. Pog Whisperer, little disturbing. Crypto is much better. Yep, for you young folks it is, but for us retired folks, don't want to do with crypto. Sorry, not yet anyway. There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? No consistency and profitability. There's one. There's no options available. The only way I'm going to make money off crypto is sit in front of my computer and look for setups all day. Yeah, I get better ways of wasting my time. But thanks anyway. All right, so General Motors, I like it, and I'm going to write it down for next week because I want to keep my eye on it to see what happens. Yep, so General Motors is right up there. Okay, so sorry, Mikey. General Motors, although I like the company, I really do. Now, with a drop like this, that is going to fill. But it's not going to fill until this thing starts to turn around and go up. So today being a bottom right here, well, I like 2 days to the upside from a bottom. So earliest I'd get into this thing would probably be Thursday because I need 2 days to the upside. That might be Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, well, we'll keep our eye on it. All right, so over here on the other side, YouTube wants to take a look at Dollar General. No, I love Dollar General. I do. Dollar General. Nice. I like that. That looks nice. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, big drop, sideways, down, and now up. Okay, we're at 87.93, which means the 88s better look pretty damn good. The 88s, 168. Nice. Even the 89s, either one of those. But I'm going to go for the 88 because it looks more safe. Or it looks safer. However you want to look. It looks more safe. It looks safer. However, I think Mrs. Fader would be a little unhappy with my grammar. Anyway, that's my 8th grade school teacher, English teacher. She said, James, you really got to know this stuff. I said, Miss Fader, when I get older, I'm going to have a secretary, so I'm not going to need to worry about it. That's what I told her in 8th grade. Now, I did have a secretary, and she was great. Don't have one anymore. Anyway, so let's take a look at Dollar General. A year ago was the high of the year, 164.63. She drops right here on the 29th of August. From 123, drops all the way down to about 77. From 123 to 77. That gotta hurt. Oh, I wasn't in it then. But I did buy some right about here. Okay, as soon as this big drop came, I bought some here and I got out right about there. So there to there. See, I don't like to hold for a long period of time because stocks make a move. Well, great. Let's take advantage of that move. Well, once the move is done, she starts to drop again. Well, I don't want to hold it into the drop. But look, big drop here. I'm going to zoom into that, see if you guys get a better idea of what it looks like. All right, here we go. So here's the big drop right here. Big drop, and it kept going down. So right about there is where I wanted to jump in. So I jumped in, and I ended up getting out right about here. Not much, but I'm only looking for 1% every week. So Dollar General, yeah, I like it. Let's go back to the 90-day. Okay. Okay, last 90 days we're looking at the same thing. The high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. Okay, yeah. We're not going to jump into this one because I don't like to buy at a 30-day high. And that's exactly what that thing is. So that thing is going to be looking at 2 weeks from today. I'm going to cross it off of next week's list. That's got a ways to go before it drops again. Dollar General in 2 weeks from today. Because how far is it going to go up? Okay, so here's 66 here, the bottom here. And she shoots up. Now we're at 88. So 66 to 88 is $32. Yeah, $32. Wait, is that right? No, wait a minute. 66, 76, 86. That's 20. 22. $22. $22 on a $66 stock. Well, that's 30%. That's a 30% increase from here to here since the middle of January. Yeah, this thing's going to drop eventually. So I'll just keep my eye on it. So it's going to be a no for Dollar General. Sorry about that. Antoine wants to take a look at Alcoa. Wait a minute. Yeah, Alcoa, AA. Yeah, Alcoa. I was right. We're going to say no to Alcoa for this week really quick. Did you see it? Right there. Now, I will keep my eye on it. Okay? 30 days, up, down, new 30-day bottom. So we're going to be looking for a new bottom for Alcoa. So I'll write that one down for next week. So looking for a bottom for General Motors, Alcoa, and what was that other one? Apache, APA. Okay, you missed that one. That one was a couple of weeks ago. Look at this. Okay, here's the high, here's the low. Look at the movement, but look at right there more specifically. Okay, here's your last 30 days. Okay, 30 days ago, we're here at 20. Jumps up to 21, drops down to 1750, shoots up. Here's your high. You have 3 days to the downside. Yeah, not the time for jumping into Apache. Apache, 2 weeks from today. APA. Now, the reason why I'm saying 2 weeks, look at where it is. The bottom's here, 1750. It took 1, 2, 3, 3.5 weeks to get that high. Well, how long do you think it's going to take to get from here down to here? About 2 weeks, usually. So we'll just keep following it and see what happens. Okay, Trader Ada wants to take a look at Glod, G-L-O-D. What the hell is that? Gold shares. Yeah, I don't think so. Pog Whisperer. SLI. What the hell is SLI? It's a no is what it is. Oscar Babyface. I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. I mean, why would you even ask that question? Great haircut. I look younger. Thank you, Dina. Okay, buy and hold stock tips, AGNC. Now, AGNC, I used to trade this one, but I don't anymore only because look at the premiums. Okay, if you're right, if you're at the money, nice premium. 1 strikeout, 0. 2 strikes out, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, so no, some companies have great premiums, some companies don't. This one, not so much. And the same thing with ET, which is energy transfer. Same thing. I used to trade it too, but then when the premiums get to 0 at 1 strikeout, it ain't worth it. Okay, look at Intel, INTC. Look at the premiums. Okay, 63, 40, 30, 20. Okay, nice premiums, even 4 strikes out. Dell is the same way. Okay, nice premiums, even 4 strikes out. If they doesn't have premiums, 2 or 3, 4 strikes out, then it's not going to be worth it. Because if you're wrong, okay, and that does happen because stocks go up and stocks go down. You can buy a stock and it can drop up to 50%. So get ready for that. Tighten up your belt, put your big girl panties on, whatever, however you want to approach it. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's all they do. You can buy right here at 91 and it can drop 50% down to 45. Well, are you ready for that? If you're not ready for that, this is not the game for the lighthearted. Okay, I got 5 simple rules. Now let me briefly explain to you where the 5 rules came from. First and foremost, the trading strategy I'm sharing with you this evening came about in 2008. Nothing to do with the financial crisis, but it may have, I don't know, but no, it didn't. My 9-year-old daughter came up to me, jumped on my lap, and said, "Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me?" Okay, how do you teach a 9-year-old to invest in the stock market when most adults don't even understand it? Okay, so here's my challenge. It had to be simple. It had to be safe. It had to be predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. So with that 5 criteria, how do I come up with a trading strategy specifically for my 9-year-old daughter? Well, rule number 1. Never buy something that's not on the list. Well, you might be asking, what's the list? Hold on a second. Here's my list. This list, these little green dots on this calendar, see, March 2025, we can actually jump over to April because April starts tomorrow. Okay, so April 2025, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so on and so forth. There are 13 weeks. Tomorrow starts the first day of the second quarter. Now, there's 13 weeks in every quarter, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 13. So week number 1 of the second quarter started today. All right, so that's what it is. So these little green dots represents companies that are getting ready to pay a dividend, and that is why I like dividend stocks. Okay, I can easily track them on a calendar. Now, the reason why they're here, let's change this for a second. The reason why they're here is because they consistently increase their profits. Now, a dividend is a portion of the company's profits. So if the profits increase, so don't the dividends. So it would be reasonable to think that if the dividends increase, so do the profits, because they go hand in hand. Okay, a dividend is a portion of the profits the company gives back to the investors. So if we're investing and we get a dividend, a portion of the profits, and that increases every year, well, fine. I want to look at those stocks and only those stocks. Specifically, companies that have 2 decades, that's 20 years of consistent profitability. Okay, so my 5 rules. Rule 1, never buy something you don't understand. This was for my daughter. Never buy something that wasn't on the chart. Wasn't on the list. Or, same thing, if you don't understand it, don't buy it. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the whole game. It just doesn't make sense. Rule number 3, weekly options only. Is that right? Wait a minute. Rule number 1, don't buy something you don't understand. Rule number 2, don't sell at a loss. Rule number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Rule number 4, weekly options only. Okay, if I'm going to get weekly cash flow, the only way I can do that is to sit in front of the computer looking at charts all day. No, that ain't going to work for me. 2, weekly options. If the company has a weekly option that expires every Friday afternoon, I can buy it or sell it on Monday, and then I can get out on Friday. So that's what I'm looking for, weekly cash flow. Rule number 5, make sure the numbers work. Now, I'm going to explain all these rules as we progress through the evening. And yes, rule number 5, I will be showing you about the numbers. And we'll even do a couple of sample trades for you to see exactly how it works. Now, if you didn't know, okay, this screen behind me is live on YouTube. Okay, so you can, take your little phone, go into the living room, plop down on a nice comfy couch or that nice recliner, pull on the big screen TV and put on YouTube, because you should have YouTube on your phone. Not your phone, on your television somewhere. Okay, Dividend Stock Talk on YouTube. Okay, The 10MinuteTrader. Okay, this way you can see all the little tiny numbers and what they mean and exactly what I'm doing. Okay, but if you want to, you can always go back and watch the recording. Okay, we're actually live at this moment. It is 9:44 p.m. on the 31st of March, 2025. So in case you're wondering if this is recorded, no. It is being recorded. So we're in the process of recording. Okay, so anyway, that being said, it's live. Now, for those of you putting questions in the little box here, I will answer each and every individual question before the night's over. Okay, that's my promise to you guys. I will answer each one. I don't sit and watch it scroll by. I actually stop and read each and every single entry. So it may take me a while to get to it because we are broadcasting on 7 different channels. So it takes a little bit. And yes, it's just me. I don't have any help in my broadcast room yet, but it is in the plan to hire someone to go through all the questions, make it a little easier. But until then, let's do the best we can with what we have to work with. Okay? Now, this is just a hobby for me. This is not a profession. I am retired. Okay? Whatever money I invest, it has to last me for the rest of my life. So I'm not taking chances. If you're looking for capital growth, meaning you put your money into a stock and have it grow over the years, you're in the wrong place. I'm looking for cash flow. That's it. I want to jump on a little stock, take it for a ride, grab 1%. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time, and then jump into something else. I jump from one stock to the next, to the next, to the next. Whatever is moving in a direction in which I want to go, which is forward, okay, 1% every week. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, if you're looking for cash flow, I can help you out, but I'm only showing you one strategy, and that's it. I got to draw the line somewhere. You may be asking yourself, where's the pitch? What's he's trying to sell? Okay, what's the punchline? All that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Am I keeping anything? Am I holding anything back? Nope, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. You don't need to buy anything else from me. I do have stuff to sell. I've written a bunch of books. I have a home study course, which actually sucks. It needs to be updated. I have a live trading class, which people pay to actually watch me trade, answer any questions you want, and I will walk you through the trade. I can't tell you what to do, and I won't tell you what to do. I will point everything out. I will lead you to water, but I can't make you drink. I can show you the trades, but I can't make you take them, okay? So you can follow what I do. A lot of people do. Okay, I've been very successful over the past 15 years, getting 1% every single week. Now, funny thing is, I was doing some math. I want to show it to you because do I get 1% every week? No, I don't. And I was doing the math just a couple of hours ago. Okay. Here is this year's trades, okay? Weekly trades 2025. Now, remember, I told you I share 3 accounts with you. Account number 1, account number 2, and account number 3. So I'm going through the numbers, okay? So first quarter is done and over with. All right, so account number 1, we started out with 151. We ended up with 204. And that's just for the first quarter. And I've taken out 14,000 already. But look at my year to date just for the first quarter. Everyone's bitching and moaning their accounts are down. Well, I got 38.8% just in the first quarter. That's with account number 1. Account number 2, not so well. We started out with 143, we're at 184, but we only made 26% so far for the first quarter. This is the one I'm on now. I haven't got it finished yet, so I'm working on that one, but this is what I wanted to show you. Right? All right. Week 13, 1.25, 1.31. Look at week number 12 and count number 2. 0.62. 0.39. It was absolutely horrible in those two. But look at the other weeks. Okay, 2.8, 2.3, 4.9, 4.1, so on and so forth. Every single trade so far this year is listed. Okay. Week number 1, first quarter, December 30th to January 3rd. That's the first week of the year. Okay, 6.9%, 1.8, 4.2, all over the place. But I do average over 1% every week. And that's what I want to show you. If you don't believe me, all my trades are right there. Just click on any one. It'll tell you exactly what it was. U.S. Steel, $1.58 per share credit. Well, how many did I have? 10. That's 100. That's another 100. And there's another 6. 16. There's a 3 and there's 4, so that's 4, that's 20, 30, 40, 40. What is that, 40 contracts of U.S. Steel, the 32 and the 32 and a half. Yeah, those are nice freaking numbers. Every single week. All right, so let's get out of that and let's show you some stocks and some trades. All right, so that's it. Never buy something you don't understand. Never settle at a loss. Make sure the company's consistently profitable. Weekly options only, and make sure the numbers work. Now, we're going to do a few trades. I'm just going to show you how quick and easy and simple it really can be. Because when I say, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. You should be able to trade in less than 10 minutes. Be done, be over with. Let's get out of there. This is for 2024. Come on. I just want to get to the videos where YouTube is right there, YouTube right there. So I'm going to show you the little princess of who I created this for. When I say short, two videos going, yep, videos, and we want to go to the oldest video right there. Here she is right here.
Hi, I'm Stacy, and you being part of my internet website called Thingy, which my dad doesn't let me call me that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks.
That's the princess, and there's me.
20 days in the month of January. 20 days in February. There's 21 days in the month of March. What does that mean? That means every single day you buy different stocks. Every single day there's a different company paying out dividends.
Yay!
Hey, anyway, cheers.
So anyway, that's about 15 years ago. I had to make it fun. I had to make it exciting because she was only 9 years old. Now, she did trade with me from 9 years old all the way up until she was 13. Because you know what happens with 13-year-old little girls. Daddy's nothing more but an ATM, and all she was cared about was boys and more boys. Yeah, so I lost my little girl at 13. Granted, she's going to be 26 this year, and she's starting to come back around because we all know from age 13 to age 25, little girls can be, let's just call it challenging, okay? Yeah, so Dad was just an ATM, and I didn't get to spend much time with her during those times, but you know what it is? It is what it is. All right, so let's get out of there. Let's go back to where we are. Let's get back on track, and let's talk stocks. Let's talk stocks. There we go. All right. Next, we looked at General Motors. Cool beans. Dow turning around. Mark the Realtor, how are you doing today? Thank you for that. Good group. How are you doing? Let's keep on keeping now. Where were we? Here we go. What questions do we have today? Bonjour, Christ Moneymaker. Bonjour, bonsoir. Comment ça va toujours? Ça va bien, no? Disgruntled Cook. Good evening, sir, and how are you today? I can't even read that one. Hello, grandfather. Oh, yeah, make me feel old. Thank you. Yes, I am a grandfather. Is what it is. All right, Disgruntled Cook, thank you for that. Grabbilson, good evening. Stocks and Sports Guy. What's your opinion of Broadcom? It's down $90 from its high. Now, Stocks and Sports Guy, you actually got to give me the ticker symbol because I buy stocks, and I've been buying stocks for the last 20 years. And most of them, at least the ones that are profitable, consistently profitable, I got a good idea who they are. And I can give you the ticker symbols right off the top of my head. But Broadcom, I'm not 100% sure of that one. Mikey Cap, talk me out of YMAX. Oh, that's just too freaking easy. Talk you out of YMAX. All right, let's go take a look at YMAX. Okay. Mikey, watch how easy it is for me to talk you out of YMAX. YMAX. All right, first and foremost, we're looking at Yahoo Finance. Now, I always tell people if you're going to be investing in the stock market, you really got to find yourself a financial website where you can do your own research, see exactly what the numbers are. Do the numbers make sense? Well, let's take a look at YMAX. Here we go. Historical data for YMAX. It's currently at 1336. Now, when I'm investing in a company, I want to make sure it's consistently profitable. What does consistently profitable look like? All right, how far back does it go? All right, first and foremost, YMAX first dividend payment was February 2024. So this thing is what, 15 months old? Seriously? That alone should make you say, oh, hell no. But hold on a second. So, number one, it's 15 months old. It's not even 2 years old yet. Okay, most companies do not make it past the 3 to 5 year mark. This thing's not even 2 years old. Okay, I wouldn't put my money in, but hold on. It gets worse, kind of does. Now, when I say consistently profitable, if a dividend is a portion of the profits, if the profits increase consistently, the dividends should increase consistently, correct? All right, well, let's take a look at what the dividends look like for YMAX. Very first dividend, 53. Goes to 57, to 63, to 73. That's pretty good. But then it goes to 73. There's no increase there. Okay, then it drops to 65. Then it drops to 59. Then it drops to 23. And then it drops to 22. Then it drops to 21. Then it drops to 20. Then it drops to 18. I'm going to say, oh, hell no. Okay, drop, 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 drop. Yeah, that's going to make me want to bolt. Consistent profitability, that ain't it. Okay, but hold on. Does it get worse? Maybe it does. I haven't looked at the yield on YMAX for a while, but remember, it's only 2 years, not even 2 years old yet. Yeah, that's why. Okay, look at the yield. The yield is 56%. Now, don't get all excited about a 56% yield. Don't get excited about it. Where do you think that money's coming from? It's not coming from their profits because we saw that they're not continuously profitable. So it's not coming from there. Hey, look at the current yield for the year. Total year to date daily total return, negative 9.3. Why would you even think that's good? The yield, that's to suck you in to buy this. That's what that's there for. They've only been in business for not even 2 years yet. No, hell no. But let's take a look at a little bit more. Historical data. I want to look at statistics. Where the hell are statistics? Holdings, profile, options, community, chat, news, summary. Where the hell is the statistics? I want to find out what the book value on this thing is. Nope. Summary. I don't think it's under the summary. Volume, blah, 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 blah. Nope, not there either. Community chart, profile, options, holdings, risks. No, it doesn't have it. Well, that don't make me a happy camper. I want to see what the book value for YMAX is. All right, anyway, I'm saying no to YMAX, but that's me. If you like it, more power to you. I wouldn't put my money into a company that's not even 2 years old. Okay? So let's keep on going. What do we got here? All right, buy and hold stocks, AGNC, we already took a look at that one. Wendell Scott, Oscar. No one cares, just enjoy the page. Thank you. 1% a week, you must be buying big positions. No. Big position, small position. 1% is 1%, no matter which way you look at it. Antoine. So look ahead a month to see high to sell at. Okay, Antoine, I'm not sure which one we were talking about, but I only go a week at a time. You know, this week, next week. I don't look a month ahead, you know, because I come to the realization that I only live one day at a time. So I'm not planning that far out. Okay, Booger Sugar. Yeah, we looked at SLI. That's a firm no. Now, Bobby Posey, Hood. I think you're talking about Robinhood. They're not 20 years old, dude. Crypto is the future. It may be the future, but it's still unpredictable at this moment in time. And I don't live in the future. I actually live in the present. So in the present, I can make 1% safely, predictably, and consistently with the stock market. You cannot do that in the crypto market. There is no safety in the crypto market, at least not yet. But when it gets there, you know, I keep my eye open for it. Because as soon as the opportunity comes along, where it can be simple, safe, predictable, and consistent, yeah, I'll jump into it. But until then, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of cryptocurrency. The idea of it, it's awesome. Get the greedy little bankers and the greedy little government out of our pockets. It's a great idea. But you still can't keep away the scammers and the what are those other ones? people who steal all your money, the thieves. You can't get them away yet. Until you can, it's going to be a no for me. Okay, until they iron out the bugs, then okay. Dear live stream, I love dividend stocks. Well, so do I. Gail, how are you this evening? How you doing, Gail? All right, so let's keep on going. How about Verizon, AT&T, Altria, and Macy's? Why can't you just ask for one? You're asking for four? I don't know. I don't limit it, so that's probably my own fault. All right, so let's take a look. Verizon. All right, so let's take a look at Verizon. What does Verizon look like? VZ. Nope. Okay, so take a quick look at the last 30 days for Verizon. 30 days ago, we're at 43. She shoots up, hits 47.50. Okay, that's a nice move. But what do you think is going to happen after that? Profit taking. Well, if you don't take your profits, market maker's going to take it away from you. Look at that big, huge gap down. Not once, but twice. Okay, market maker pushed it down twice. When I say, if you buy a stock, okay, like right around here, and it jumps up to here, okay, from 43 to 47 is a $4 move. That's 10%. 10% from here to here. If you don't take that profit, don't be surprised if the market maker takes it away from you. Well, it's exactly what he did. He took it away here, closed at 46.50. He opened up at 43.50. He took away $3 right there. Well, $3 on a $40 stock, that's about 8%, 9%. He took it away from you there. And then he did it again here, dropped it down again. Well, from here, she shot up to here. So 42 to 45 is $3. Well, $3 on a $42 stock is around 8%. So from here to here is only 8%. Here to here is 10%. But here to here is only 8%. Okay, so here's the thing. Is there going to be profit taking? Probably. Could it hit up here? I don't think so. Look at the run. 1, 2, 2.5 weeks going to the upside. Can it go further? It can. But ask yourself, do you want to take that chance? I don't. Anyway, that's Verizon. Now, I like Verizon, don't get me wrong. But not this week for me. And no to AT&T. Look at that. Today is the high of the year. I never once have I ever bought the high of the year. And I ain't going to start today. No, I like AT&T. She goes up, pulls back. This is where I would get it. She went up, pulled back. This is where I would get it. Then she took this ride. I wouldn't have taken that whole ride. I probably would have got out right here and looked for something else. Because I'm not looking for capital appreciation. I'm looking for cash flow. Now, cash flow on a Wednesday to a Friday, yeah, I'll take that. On a Monday to a Friday, I'll take that. On a Monday to a Friday, I'm not sure I would take this one. But I'd definitely be out. I'd keep rolling it forward, and then once you start pulling back like this, then I'd jump ship. All right, that's AT&T. What was next? Altria. Oh my God, Altria. Nice move on Altria today. Look at that. Now, I don't buy at the high of the year. Look at where it is. That's the high of the year today. Well, when do you think profitability is going to take? Okay, look. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? Is it going to continue going up or is it going to pull back? Look at all this space. Last year's low at 41. Now it's at 60. That's almost a $20 increase. $20 increase from 40 to 60. That is a 50% increase. Well, don't you think a 50% increase would allocate, profit taken? And one more. Mr. Premium of the option. Macy's. Now, Macy's was one of my number one stocks last year. But it's at the low of the year. So I'll be keeping my eye out on Macy's for as soon as Macy's finds that bottom. Okay? As soon as it finds the bottom, then maybe take it for a ride. But no, I'm not buying as it's falling. Okay, I'll buy it as it falls and then bounces off. the bottom. Other than that, no thank you. Sequoia, Ryan Reynolds, if he was a... Okay, cool beans. Luis, James, I bet you hit good on that DFS. Oh, Discover. That's a good one. Yeah, we looked at that one a couple weeks ago. All right, we'll look at it. Discover. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the movement. Sideways, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. 187. Oh, 170. Currently, the price is 170. So what does that mean? Okay, so 170 is going for 460. Well, that's nice. Okay, that's over 2 or 3%. That works for me. So let's take a better look at that chart and see what's going on. Okay, a year ago, we're at 130. Okay, the bottom of the year was mid-April last year, and that was 119. All right, she went sideways for a bit. Look at the last 90 days. Okay, here's your last 90 days. Here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Up, sideways, down, up. Okay, so right there, what's going on? I don't know. Let's zoom in a little closer. Look at the last 30 days, because the last 30 days, it will give me a good idea of where do I think it's going next. And that's where I want to jump in. 30 days ago was the 30-day high. Here's your 30-day bottom. A couple of weeks later, she went up, pulled back, 4 down days in a row last week, and today is 1 up day. Now, like I said before, I want 2 up days. Well, today's 1. Could tomorrow be another one? Could be. Look at the space between here and here, because here's the high way up here. See, 196 right there. Look at where it is now, 170. It's $26 worth of movement it could make. So I'd love to take that for a ride, but I'm looking for 2 days to the upside. We got 1 here. All right. Rudy B. Moore. Hello. Antoine, I meant look 1 month in the past to see the highs so you will know when to sell from the past increases. Okay. Thank you, Antoine. Hogan wants to take a look at Mara. Awesome squad. I skip your videos like every single day. All right. Thank you, Awesome Squad. Jamar wants to take a look at Intel. So we're going to look at Mara and then Intel. So I'm going to put Discover DFS for next week. DFS. We'll keep our eye on it. Okay, Mara. M-A-R-A. Now, just to let you know, I do have some Mara, and yeah, it's down a little bit, but it is what it is. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, at 11.50, the 11.50 is going for 50 cents. Well, 50 cents on an $11 stock, well, that's over 4%. But the big question is, do you like Mara? Well, not today, I don't. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it even gapped down today. So we're looking for a new bottom on Mara. So as soon as we find the bottom on Mara, well, I'll probably end up dollar cost averaging down or seeing what I can do. Intel's next. INTC. All right, Intel's down today also. But hi, remember me? Awesome Squad. Not really. I can be a mod. You got to show up more often than just once or twice, dude, if you don't mind. Luis, James, I've learned so much from you. I'm always waiting for you to be live. All right, thanks, Luis. Mr. Premium Options. Mara is nice for wheeling. Okay, thank you there, Mr. Premium. Core Wave. What do you think about it? Never heard of it. Okay, Awesome Squad, don't remember you. Sorry. There's so many, I don't mean to be insulting or anything, but I got 7 different channels and thousands of people come through. Once in a while, I will remember certain people who show up consistently. So, that being said. All right, back to TikTok. Talk me how to yield max. Well, that would have been an easy one. All right, Broadcom. Okay. William Russell, how you doing? Teresa, good evening. Stocks and Sports Guy, thank you for that. All Day Smile, good night. How are you today? Mikey Cap, YMAX. Yep, we looked at that one already. Thank you there, Mikey. Reds Italy. How you doing, Reds Italy? Uh-oh, Tech One Trades wants to take a look at Coca-Cola. All right, CoreWeave is an IPO that came out a day ago. Okay, Luis, I don't do IPOs. Now, Luis, remember one thing, okay? I'm 61, I'm retired, which means I have no desire to go back to work. Can I? Yep. I'm physically fit. I could go back to work if I wanted to, but I've been working since 1973. Now, well, my mom's in her 80s. I can spend some time with her, spend some time with my kids and my grandchildren, especially when my grandson's only 5. He's awesome to hang out with. He does wear me out, but not as much as you'd think. All right, Mohammed wants to take a look at Annaly, N-L-Y. Okay, wait, hold on. We're looking at Intel at the moment, so let's give Intel a good look through. Now, I do own some Intel, but I wouldn't be buying any this week. Look at right here. Now, it should take you not even 3 to 4 seconds to examine a chart. You're not looking for every single detail. You're looking for the broad outlines or the broad strokes. Well, the high, the low, where was it, where is it, and what's the movement? Down, sideways, up, down. So now we're at 2271. Well, 2271 is extremely close to 23. So the 23s are going for 63 cents. That's just a bit short of 3%. Now, 3% on a weekly basis, well, that's over 150% per year. I'm not quite sure if you guys are quite ready to get 150% every year. Well, you do have to put some time in. It is going to require some effort. But think about it. 5 or 10 minutes a day for 1 week. It's about an hour a week. So if you take a look at your account, okay, if you got $50,000 in your account, 1% is $500. So 1 hour is $500 an hour. Okay, if you have 100 grand in your account, 1 hour, $1,000 an hour. But you got to break it up. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there. So it averages around 1 hour a week for 1% return. Now, if you had a decent size account, yeah, that's going to be profitable. But if you're just starting out, it will grow. Trust me, it will. Because whether you want to agree to it or not, okay, Humpty Dumpty, who's in the office right now, in 4 years, he won't be there. There'll be somebody else. His time will come and his time will go. So, can we get through the 4 years? Yeah. Did we get through 4 years of Biden? Yep. Did we get through 4 years of Trump the first time? Yep. Did we get through 8 years of Obama? Yep. Well, just think, in 4 years, what's going to happen next? It is what it is. All right, so let's keep on going. Tech One Trades wants to take a look at Coca-Cola. Oh, wait a second. We're still on Intel. Sorry. All right, so Intel, a year ago, was the high of the year at 45.41. Now, the bottom of the year was here in September, 18. Can you imagine that? 41 to 18? That's over a 50% drop. Shoots back up, same thing. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Well, it's coming down right now. Look at the big gap here. Well, let's zoom in a little closer. Look what the last 30 days gave us. Okay, so here's the last 30 days. 30 days ago, we're at 23. We shoot up, pull back. Here's the bottom right here. And she shoots up after a gap up. 1 gap up, 2 gap up, 3 gap up. Here's the high. Okay, so from the bottom here to there is a 50% increase. So it jumps up 50%. Well, yeah, there's going to be profit taken. Profit taken, stock drops. Well, it's dropping right here. How low is it going to go before she turns around? Now, I do own some Intel, okay, and I do make a nice return on it every single week. Look at the premium numbers. At the money, you're getting almost 3%. Okay, one strike out of the money, well, you're still getting almost 3%. Okay, two strikes out of the money, you're getting 2%. Three strikes out of the money, you're getting 1.5%. And four strikes out of the money, you're almost getting 1%. I love premiums like this because you can be wrong and it can go against you, but you can still bring in a nice premium just for giving someone the opportunity to buy it from you for more than you paid for it. I mean, that works for me. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. So it's going to be no for Intel today or this week, but we'll keep our eye on it. Coca-Cola's next. Now, I think in the last 20 years, I may have bought Coca-Cola once. That's because the premiums are usually horrible. The current price, $71.83. The 72s, 48 to 55. Yeah, it's just not worth it for me. Okay, I want 1%. I'd love to get 2%. Coca-Cola gives a 0.5%. But here's the thing. If you want to be safe, I mean super safe, the company Coca-Cola is worldwide, #1 soft drink on the planet. You can get it in almost every single continent. But here's the thing. They've been in business for over 100 years. They consistently increase their profitability. Okay, they are a dividend king. That's 5 decades of increased profits. Bare minimum. Okay, so yeah, they offer less than 1%, but you can still get 26 to 30% per year on Coca-Cola if you just roll it every single week. You buy the stock, you sell some of the rights to buy it from you. You move it forward 1 week, you get another premium. You move it forward another week, a premium every single week, along with the dividends. So you can get 20 to 30, even 35% off of Coca-Cola if you play your game right. And it is a game. Clipper, it's all gambling, to be honest, though. Thank you for teaching us for free. All right, 2025 Clipper, thank you. Jennifer Sellers, how are you today? Levante, ooh, I like that name, Levante. How are you doing? Chatterbox, thank you, sent me a heart. How nice of you. Divinista, good evening. Melatonin, good evening to you too, Chatterbox. New Jersey, hello. Benjamin, TTD. Benjamin, what is TTD? TTD. The Trade Desk. Never heard of it. Well, let's go check out what kind of dividends TTD has. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a company that shares their profits. Historical pricing, dividends only. Oh no, look at this. There are no dividends in the selected time period. So TTD is going to be a no. Okay, sorry, Benjamin. Okay, why would I invest in a company where I don't know when they're going to move? Now, why do I say that? The reason why I say that, if you look at my dividend calendar, okay, April 25, Colgate-Palmolive right there on the 17th. If I want to get the dividend, now here's an interesting thing that a lot of people don't know. The EX date is represented by these little green dots, all different companies. We got Ben Franklin, Illinois Toolworks, Nucor, O'Reilly, Cardinal Health, McKesson, Hormel, AbbVie, Abbott Labs, Clorox, Lowe's, so on and so forth, all these companies. Now, each one of these companies here has 25 years or more of increased dividends. But the reason why I like dividends and I like the calendar is just before the dividend is paid out. There's 4 dates to remember when it comes to dividend stocks. The first date is the announcement date. Hey everyone, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10MinuteTrader. We made so much money this year. This is the dividend we're going to be paying out to you guys, and this is when we're paying it. Oh, that's the announcement date. That's when they tell you how much money they made and how much they're giving to you. The announcement date, that's date number 1. Date number 2 is called the EX dividend date. That's the last day the stock trades before the dividend's paid out. Well, that's the little green dots. Okay? AbbVie, Abbott Labs, Hormel, McKesson, Clorox, Lowe's. Okay? Date number 3. Oh, wait a second. Date number 2, the date of the EX dividend date, the last day the stock trades before the dividend's paid. So if you want to collect the dividend on any one of these stocks, you got to buy it before the little green dot. Okay? Before that date, which on Colgate-Palmolive is the 16th, the 15th, the 9th, the 1st, the 31st, the 3rd, the 7th, the 14th. Any day before that day. So why is that day important? Well, because that day, just before, the stock has a tendency to go up just before the dividend. So if I know the stock is going to go up before the dividend, well, that's when I want to buy it and take that little tiny bit of a ride using one of the safest trading strategies there is, and that is the covered calls, where you buy the stock and you sell the rights to that stock to someone else. Now, if I'm buying it for $100, well, I want to sell it for $100. Kind of doesn't make any sense, right? If I'm buying it for 100 and I'm selling for 100, where do I make my money? I make my money on the insurance policy, because that's what a call option is. Okay, a call option and a put option, they're stock options. They are insurance policies. Now, in order for an insurance policy to be legal and effective, you need 4 things. 1 is a beginning date, 2 is an ending date, 3 is consideration, that's money, someone's got to pay for it. And 4, that's the biggie, that is a meeting of the minds or an agreed upon contract, buying at a certain price by a certain date and paying a certain amount of money. So that's what a stock option is. Ooh, what the hell am I doing there? Okay, here's TTD. Okay, current price, 54.56. Okay, so the 55. Okay, so you can buy the stock. If I buy it tomorrow at 54.56 and I sell the 55s, okay, someone's going to pay me $1.33. Now, $1.33 on a $55 stock is over 2%. But here's the thing. Over 2%, the beginning date is when they give me the money, which probably will be tomorrow morning. The ending date, the 4th of April at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m., the 4th of April, the end of the contract. The beginning of the contract is when the person pays for it. The end of the contract is the expiration date. 4 April, 11 April, 17 April, 25 April, 2 May, 9 May, so on, so on, so on. Every single week there is another option. That's what I mean by predictable and consistent. Wait a minute, that's what I mean by consistent. It's an option every single week. Okay? So, consideration, the money, okay? Beginning date, when they pay it, ending date, and the meeting of the minds. Buying this stock from me at this price by that date. That's the meeting of the minds. That's the agreement. Okay, you got to buy the stock from me anytime between now and Friday for that price, the agreed upon price, and the consideration. Those are 4 things you need to know to have a legal binding contract. And that's what it is. Because the dividend is one thing, but the premium is usually higher than the dividend. And I can get the premium every single week. The dividend, I can get that once every 90 days. So why the hell would I want that? I mean, think about it. If I can get the dividend, well, let's go to one. Okay, Clorox. Okay, no, it's not Clorox, sorry. Colgate-Palmolive. It's 52 cents for the dividend. Okay. So currently the stock is at 93.70. So the 94 is going for 75. So here's the thing. Hold on. I can buy the stock before this EX date and collect the dividend. The dividend is 52 cents. Or I can buy the stock 2 weeks before, on a Monday, which would have been today, bought it at the current price, $93.70, sold somebody the right to buy it from me, not the obligation, the right, not the obligation, at almost the exact same price. 93.70, I'm selling at 94, and I pick up 75 cents. That 75 cents is more than the dividend. So here's the thing. If I'm buying it at that price, selling this, picking up 75 cents, today, well, that would be the 31st. So if I own it here, I get 52 cents. But I get 74, or whatever it was, here. And if it's above my price on Friday, well, I get all my money back, and I get to get 75 cents rather than the 52. And if I don't hit my strike price, the 74, I do it again on the 7th, which is next Monday. Okay, and I pick up another 1% or 2%, whatever it is. And if I don't hit my strike price here on expiration date, well, I get to do it again. And for a third time, sell the 74s. And if I don't hit it here, well, I get to do it again. And then I get to do it again, and I get to do it again, and I get to collect the dividend. So that's premium, 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 dividend, premium, until I hit my target. And what's my target? Well, currently the stock's at 93.70. My target would be 94. And I'm making 75 cents rather than 52 every single week. Now, Colgate-Palmolive, they've been in business for over 100 years. Do you really think they're going to disappear overnight? Probably not. So I don't really consider it that much of a risk, because they've been around for over 100 years. So what's happened in the last 100 years? Well, we've seen World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all the crap that's happened in what do you call it? Those other minor wars, right? We had the Gulf Wars. We had the Afghanistan crap. We've had, the Great Depression. We've had stock market crashes, the one in 29, the one in, 78, or somewhere in the 70s, the one in 87, the one in 2000, the one in 2008, the one in 2021, okay? There's a correction, a recession, a pullback, whatever you want to call it, every decade. But the stock market continuously goes up and up and up over the years. I mean, just look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. All right, anyway, so where are we? All right. Okay, Mohammed wants to take a look at Annaly, which is NLY. Now, Annaly is on my list, NLY. TTD was not on my list. Okay, now I'm going to say no really quick for Annaly. Did you see that? I barely even looked at the chart and it was a no. Why? Well, look what happened. Okay, here's the high of the year right there. Here's your profit taking. Big gap down today. All right, so I like 2 days to the upside from a bottom. Well, this is definitely a bottom. Okay, so the earliest I would get into this thing would be next week, because all my money's gone. Okay, Monday. Yeah, all my money's invested by Monday. So I'm looking 2 days to the upside. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would be the earliest. Now I have no money left, so it's not for me. But does it make sense for someone, you guys? Okay, here's your high. She drops down. What usually happens on a 30-day bottom? Well, usually on a 30-day bottom, people start looking at it a little differently. Well, you had that big pullback. So it goes from 22 down to 19. That's only $3. That's not that much on a $22 stock. It's what, 12% maybe? 13? Sorry, Mohammed. Annaly is not good this week for me. Orlando wants to look at ANGC. What the hell is ANGC? ANGC. Nothing. I think he's got the AGNC maybe. Luis James, I think I have one. you like for the week? Walmart. Oh, Walmart. We actually did Walmart this morning, and I actually did buy some Walmart this morning because everything looked good this morning. Well, let's take a look at Walmart. Now, I usually don't get Walmart because it usually looks like this, okay? But it looks like this. What do you think is going to happen when it's here? Profit taking. Exactly what happened. Here's where we are now. I love buying at a bottom because it goes from 59 to 105. That's what, 46 bucks? Okay, that's over 60% increase. And then she has pullback. Now we're at 87.79, so the 88s are going for 105. That's more than 1%. Well, that's what I'm looking for. And it's Walmart. We all know who Walmart is. So let's take a good look at Walmart. All right, the high's here, the low's there. Okay, high, low is, look at the movement. Up, down, now she's going sideways. All right, fine. Well, let's take a good look. Okay, a year ago, the bottom was 58.43. Look at the last 90 days. Okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? What's the motion? Up, down, sideways. Now she's going to the upside right here. Well, let's zoom in a little closer. What does it normally do? Well, normally, we're going to get to that in a second. Okay, high, low. Now she's going up very slowly, but she is still going up very slowly. All right, fine. Okay, this morning she opens up somewhere around 85. Now she's at almost 88. All right. Now, what I haven't shown you tonight is the seasonality chart. Now, some of you may know what the seasonality chart is. Probably a lot of you don't. Seasonality chart gives us an idea how does the stock react year after year after year, all things being equal. Okay, so the far left, January 1st, far right, December 31st. It gives us the whole year movement. This blue line here, well, that's this year. This little blue dot right there, that's today. This red line here, well, that's 10 years of data. Okay, that's 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, so on and so forth, for 10 years. This is the average movement. Well, we're right here right now, the beginning of April. That's where I want to take a closer look. So I take my cursor, put it right on the blue dot, that's today, click left, drag right until that gray bar opens up. That's about 2 weeks. Now, you cannot argue with this, okay? The blue dot's here, which is today. Look at the red line. A nice, steady upward trend for the next 3 weeks. Well, that works great for covered calls, and that's what we're doing. Works great for covered calls. It works great for buying calls. It works great for a lot of things. Just knowing what the stock normally does. Now, remember, this is not guaranteed. This is historical data. It means it already happened. And all things being equal, okay, business as usual, well, that's what the stock normally does this time. Now remember, this is the beginning of the second quarter. First quarter is already done. Okay, we're into the second quarter now, as of tomorrow. So yeah, that looks very favorable. All right, so let's just do a trade. Now, I did the 85s this morning because that's what she opened up at. Well, now she's at 87.50. Okay, well, let's look at the 88s. Okay, so the 88s. Now, remember I told you we're going to go through a couple of trades to show you exactly how it works. All right, now remember, if you ever get confused and you ever just go like, what's going on? Remember, this trading strategy was created for my 9-year-old daughter. Now, all you people out here in the audience, you're all over the age of 9. So you should be able to grasp it. Should. Doesn't mean you can, but you should. Wow, that's interesting. I just noticed something. Now, I don't want to confuse anyone, but these numbers over here and these numbers over here, okay, that's called open interest or volume. Okay, how many contracts are out there lingering around? Well, take a look at the calls. Now, calls are basically for people who think the stock is going to go up in value. Puts, those are for people who think the stock's going to go down. But anyway, let's take a look. Okay, 3,800, 3,100, 3,100, 1,500, 2,600, 3,800. That's a lot. Okay, now look at the puts. 2,100, 2,700, 1,900, 1,300, 400, 200, 61, 17. But look at this right here. Open interest. 6,300 puts, which that's 600,000 shares. Those contracts represent 600,000 shares. So does somebody know something? Because that's 6,300 for the 91s. I don't know. Could be interesting. But anyway, let's get to where we're going. The 88s. All right, so let's do a covered call on the 88s. It's out of there. Covered stock. Okay, the 88s right here. I want to buy it right there. Okay, just one contract. You guys can figure out whether you can do 1 or 2 or 7 or 12. That's totally up to you. Now, I always go to the market order rather than a limit order. And if you don't know the difference between the two, a market order is give it to me right now. I don't care what the price is. That's market order. Limit order says, all right, I want to pay this and that's it. Well, okay. It is what it is. I want to pay this or I want to get this. That's what it is. So a lot of people like limit orders because you get to choose what you want. But here's the thing with a limit order. If you do a covered call where you buy the stock and you sell with a limit order, well, that order can sit on the market maker's desk all day long and he doesn't have to fill it if he doesn't want to. Now, a market order, he is required by law to fill it at the current price. Well, the current price is right there, the bid and the ask. Okay, if the market maker posts a bid and an ask, he is required by law to fill it. Plain and simple. Now, the reason I like market orders when I'm entering is because the stock and the option are tied together and I know exactly what I'm going to make before I even do it. And it fills instantaneous. If I put the order in tonight, first thing tomorrow morning at 9:30, it will be one of the very first orders filled at the market price. All right, so confirm and send. Here we go. Buy one covered call of Walmart. 100, that's the weekly. For April 25. That is this coming Friday, the 4th of April. Well, that's this Friday. The $88 call option against the stock at the market to open. Now, it's 2 orders, a stock order and an option order. So you're opening 2. You're opening the stock order first, and then you're opening the option order. So here's my break even, 86.50. Well, the stock is currently at 87. 87.79. The break even is anything over 86.50. Okay. My maximum profit on this trade is $149.50. And it's going to cost me, the cost of trade, including commissions and fees, $8,600. So let's see exactly what kind of rate of return that's going to be. So to find the rate of return, you're going to whip out the calculator and say, calculator, calculate me some money. All right, $149.50. $149.50. That's my profit, okay? $149.50. To find out your rate of return, you take your profit and you divide it by your investment. So the investment in this contract is $86.51. Divided by 86.51 gives me a grand total of 1.7%. Well, Walmart at 1.7%, why the hell not? That's what I say, because I like Walmart. Well, I very rarely buy it, But when the numbers work, great. 1.7, I'll do that one. Why not? So let's keep progressing forward. Okay, Orlando, we already looked at A, G, and C. It's going to be a no. Luis, what are you seeing on the Walmart puts? Well, I don't normally do puts. Okay, but here we go. Here's the Walmart puts right here. The 8750s, there aren't any 8750s, but the 88s are going for 115. Okay, the 87s are going for 75. Not 1%. The 86s are going for 48. That's a 0.5%. Almost like free money, but you still got to put some money up against it for a cash secured put, if that's what you like. Okay, holy shit, I got 100 questions to go. Now, I am going to read each and every single individual question. We got about a half hour to go to look at stocks, and then we stop looking at stocks and we just answer questions. So let's see what we got here so far. All right, Benjamin's Trade Desk, I got that one. Thank you for that, Benjamin's. Radio Barry, been watching for a while. Looks like you'd be averaging much more than 1% a week, correct? Yep. Icon Energy is doing an RS on the day it's supposed to pay dividends. Okay, I'm not quite sure if that's a question or not. It sounds more like a statement. David, can you take a look at PFG? Now, I have no idea who the hell PFG is. PFG, that Pacific Gas? Oh, yeah, no. All right, so David Lopez, you weren't paying attention when I said weekly options only, okay? 17 April, 16 May, 18 July, 17 October, those are months. I can't do monthlies unless I want to sit in front of my computer, which it doesn't look that bad. Look, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. There's a lot of movement there. If I sat in front of my computer, I probably could, but I have no desire to do that. I have other ways of spending my time. Chatterbox, hey, Mr. James, it's been a while since I came this side. Thank you. Can we look at Kratos for a moment, please? You got to give me the ticker symbol all day, smile. Okay? Dave Lopez, PFG. I already looked at PFG, and it's going to be a no. Okay, Zaza Gapur. Uh-oh. Good evening. My other history teacher. Well, good evening to you too. William Russell, Philip Morris. Ooh, PM. Nope. That was quick, wasn't it? Okay, high, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Okay, up, down, up, down, up. Yep, I don't buy at the high of the year. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I have bought Philip Morris before in the past. But look, when she goes up, pulls back, right there. Pulls up, pulls back, right there. Goes up, pulls back, right there. Goes up, pulls back, right there. Yeah, not here at the high of the year. Yeah, no, thank you. Mr. G, hello. Intel is good to invest. Okay, I do have some Intel. We already looked at Intel today, and I don't remember exactly. I think it was not this week until it makes that new bottom. Top that baby, Mickey D's, huh? Live boxing, back again. Nice to see you. All right, so Top Dat Baby wants to look at Mickey D's. MCD. Interesting. Okay, it should take you 3 to 4 seconds. And trust me, you're not looking to dissect it and see exactly where everything is. You're just looking at the rough outline. And it's not that difficult. Where's the high? Right there. Where's the low? Right there. Where was it a year ago? Right there. Where is it now? Right here. And then take your finger and go like this. Sideways, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, it's not that difficult. It should take you 3 to 4 seconds and that's it. Okay, time. as I was about to say, time is your most valuable commodity. If you want to spend time looking at something and looking exactly where all the motion is, fine, go ahead. But it's not going to change the facts. The facts, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is, and this is the motion. Down, then it went up, then it came back down again, then it went up, now it came back down again. Okay, 3 to 4 seconds, that's all you really need. Then, before you move on, the current price, 312. Okay, what's the 312? Right here, 293 to 310. That's not 1%. Terribly sorry. It's going to be a no for this week. Okay, I want 1%. There's so many companies out there. Now, we looked last year. No, sorry, not last year. We look every single week. We didn't look today yet, but we'll probably look tomorrow because we're running low on time, and I have a lot of questions to answer. I usually take a look at exactly how many stocks are available to invest in. Last week, it was 9,976. Well, this week is probably going to be more. But why would I do McDonald's if it's not fitting? Okay, I'm looking for the 1% a week. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Mickey D's. I do. Only when the numbers work. And it's not working today. Let's keep going. Live Boxing, how you doing? William Russell, thank you for that. Chatterbox, cool beans. Danny, good evening. NBS Bubba, what's happening, Bubba? Logi Masha, it's April now. Tomorrow's April. Hey, it's Mary June. What's going on? Hassan Pfeffer, triple witching, just ended a week ago. I'm not quite sure what that is, but okay. Can you explain what you mean 4 weeks out on a premium? What do I mean 4 weeks out? Okay, now Andrea, you've been here for a while, so I'm a little surprised you're asking this question, but okay. This week is this week, 4 April. 1 week out is 11 April, which is next Friday. 2 weeks out, 17 April, which is 3 weeks out. 25 April, well, that's 4 weeks out. That's basically what 4 weeks out means. So what's the premium 4 weeks out on Wally World? Okay, the 312.50s, 4 weeks out would be, the 3, doesn't even have one. The 315s are going for 525. Well, no, if I'm going 4 weeks out, I want 1, 2, 3, 4. I want 4%. 4% on 312 is going to be at least $12, not 5. Hell no. That's why I like 1% a week. Anyway, let's keep on progressing. Okay, Andre, I hope that understands that one. I don't know. Will, thank you there, Mr. Will. Thank you again there, Mr. Will. Thank you yet again. Here's selling options. Absolutely, Will. Pinch Morrow. Good evening. Grace and mercy. Jesus said, if God were your father, you would love me, for I have come here from God. All righty then. Thank you for that. Hi, Wahab. Okay, good evening. Mares. Corey Booker. I have no idea what that means. Joey Supreme. Thank you. Cool beans. Ooh, Mary June wants to take a look at Kohl's. Now, Mary June, I do have some Kohl's, but you know that because you've been here a few times. But let's take a look at Kohl's. Here's the high a year ago. Here's the low a couple of weeks ago. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, then down again. Okay, so here's where we are. Does it make sense? Take a look at the numbers. $30 a year ago. Now we're at 8. 8 from 30. That's a $24, $22 drop. I'm trying to think of the percentage on that one. It's a big one. It's over 50%. That much I do know. All right, anyway. The high of the year was a year ago. Okay. And that was 29.60. Okay, just about a buck. I'm sorry. The last 90 days, which is the last 3 months. Okay. Your high, your low, where it was, where it is. Look at the motion. Down, big drop, back up, back down again. Okay, so she's going down right now from this low right here. Here's your last 30 days. Okay, went sideways for a week, shot up, pulled down. Here's the bottom right there. Was that like the 13th or something like that? Or the 14th? Then she went up, and then she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days to the downside. Okay. Now, I like 2 days to the upside before I jump in, but I already own Kohl's. Okay, and Kohl's is I was looking at some of the numbers from Kohl's today. I was like, holy cow, I made a lot on that one. Anyway, so here's where we are now, but not time for buying. Wait until, now I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, if it was me, I'd wait to find the bottom, wait for it to turn around, and then go back up again. That's what I'd do. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do as soon as it hits the bottom. Because we don't know. Could today be the bottom? It could be. Tomorrow could be also. We don't know until it shows up. All right. Next. Sorry about that, Mary June. It is what it is. Steve, thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome there, Mr. Steve. All right. Stephen Carter, how are you? KR, what's going on? Wizard's Chest, back again. So how are we feeling on Mara this week, big dog? Okay, we looked at Mara a little while ago. Mara is not looking that favorable for this week. Look what the new bottom is. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down days in a row. But Mara does have some great numbers. Okay? But I'm not, now I already own some Mara, that's okay. But as soon as she finds the bottom, okay? It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be the next day. But as soon as she finds the bottom, that would be a good opportunity to jump in and take that next little ride. All right. Fun facts. Good evening. Matesh, good evening. James, how much margin do you use? Seems like it requires a lot based on the trade recaps. Okay, so Matesh, normally I have 98% of all my money invested. But since the beginning of this year, I've been leaving a 20% gap. So I leave us a lot more money nowadays because everybody's panicking. Everybody thinks the world's going to end. Yeah, so I don't buy into that crap. But here's the thing. I did get a couple of margin calls. Can be expected when you're leveraged like I am. Now, I've been doing this for a long period of time, so I really don't mind. Okay? See, I know how to play the game, and I've been playing it long enough. So as I get a margin call, okay, fine. I'll sell off something or I'll throw some more money into it. But for the most part, nowadays, I don't use all my margin anymore until things settle. Until people start thinking, all right, so Trump's really not the spawn of the devil and the world's not going to end. You know, maybe making America is a good idea. Maybe securing the border is a good idea. Maybe equal taxation is a good idea. Yeah, all this kind of nice stuff. You cannot possibly say that this is bad when it's coming from this person, but when it's coming from this person, it's good. You get the exact same words coming out. But this person, it's bad, and this person is good. Explain that to me. If it's the exact same words, this person bad, this person good, but it's the exact same words, it makes no sense to me. And nobody can convince me otherwise. If you're saying the sun rises in the east and Donald Trump says the sun rises in the east, I'm not going to think that the sun's not going to rise in the east just because Trump says it rises in the east. Okay, yeah, it rises in the east. Get over it. Okay? Make America great. It's a great idea. Reciprocal taxes, great idea. Don't get me started on politics. Let's keep on moving. Givers, takers, a best in show. Many thank yous for your lives. Thank you for that very much. Barry Billet. Okay, how you doing, Barry? Yeah, so that answers your question, Matesh. Yet nowadays, only because people are panicking, am I using less of my margin? Okay? Business as usual, I'd be using 98% of my margin. But no, people want to freak out for stupid ass reasons, let them. Adair, sorry man, I don't know why you're apologizing, but okay. Twisted Philly, good evening. Nice to see you again. Do I look different? Yeah, I got a haircut. Okay. I missed a bunch of questions. Cold, we did that one. So how are we feeling? We saw that one. We saw that one. We saw that one. I look different. Thank you. What do I think about 3M? Ooh. Chris Moneymaker wants to take a look at 3M. I love 3M. Now, 3M did have issues last year. Okay. They had a big lawsuit. But look where it is. Okay. I'm going to say no to 3M. It's hanging out here a little bit too much for me. So even when you zoom into it, okay, it still does not look that favorable. Okay, 156 is the high, 142, she's coming back right here. We're going to find a new bottom here somewhere as she turns around, then maybe. So I'm going to write 3M for next week because that looks like it might do something relatively nice. 3M. Uh-oh. EV Spartan, good evening. Dave Lopez, how do you like PFG? Didn't we look at PFG like a couple seconds ago? PFG. Yeah, we did. Yeah, and we said no to PFG. Sorry, David, you weren't paying attention. Tuck, DG has been working out good. Cool beans, glad it's working out for you. Will, QQQ for selling puts. Now, I don't do QQQ, but if you want to sell puts on it, you know, more power to you. Interesting. You're going to find a bottom relatively quick here, dude, because you got a 540 high here. Now we're at 460, which is an $80 drop. An $80 drop, yeah. I don't know. Selling puts might not be a good idea because that thing's going to find a bottom really quick, and then she could turn around and go back up again. That's not something I do, but, you know, like I say, I don't do the Qs. What's the longest you've held a security? Which one? That would be Kimberly Clark. No, wait a minute, not Kimberly Clark. Yeah, it was Kimberly Clark. 3 years ago, I held it for 9 months. That's the longest I've ever held anything. And I didn't do it on purpose, okay? Ooh, that silver guy. Good evening, and how are you today, dear? If you were 18 and you had 10 grand to invest in a Roth IRA, what would you invest in? Not a Roth IRA. I would put it into a corporation or a trust and then trade, because in a trust or a corporation or a foundation, you don't have to pay taxes on it. Now, Roth IRAs, you're limited to how much money you can put into in a Roth IRA. I think it's $7,000 a year. 10 grand, you're already over the limit. Fun facts. Good evening. Well, thank you for that. Danger Dad. Ooh, who's that Danger Mouse? Who remembers Danger Mouse? All right, Roger, we already took a look at Verizon earlier. It was a no earlier. Ooh, Aaron Hepp. Good evening, good evening. You want to take a look at Paramount? Ooh, P-A-R-A. Paramount, here we go. Nice, take a look. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, sideways, now up. We're at $11.99, the 12's going for 12, which is right around 1%. That will work. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know about you guys, but 1% a week still works fine for me. All right, so a year ago, we're at 1169. The high of the year, at the beginning of May, 1454. Now, a couple of months later, here's our bottom, the mid-June at 955. Well, she goes sideways for quite a bit. Look at the last 90 days, okay? Here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, right here, what's going on? What's going on right there? How does that look good? What can we do with it? Okay, here's your last 30 days. 30 days ago was your 30-day bottom. Okay, about a week later, there's our top, pulls back, shoots back up, back down again. Today's a big up. Now, that huge up, along with the volume, look at this, the volume spike. That's a lot of volume. Now, I don't look at that often unless I see an update like this. That's a big update. I gotta turn my fan up a little bit. It's getting a little warm in here. There we go. A little bit more of a breeze for you. But a big day like today, look at the opening, look at the close. That is big. But when you count the volume, this is the average volume right about here. This looks like 3 times the amount of volume. Well, what's going on? More than likely, something that big, more than likely, is going to be profit taking tomorrow. Now, it's not guaranteed. It looks that way. With the amount of volume and the opening here. Oh, what is the opening? Okay, the opening today, 1148. The high, 1199. That's not that big of a move, but it's only an $11 stock. Not that huge. Okay, so at 12 bucks, you're making about 1%. All right, well, let's take a look at a covered call on Paramount. See what it looks like. All right, let's get it ready. Wait a minute. Before we do that, let's take a look at the seasonality. What does it normally do this time of year? Yeah, I'm not going to bother with it. Only because normally this time of year, the stock goes down. Then it drops. So no sense looking a little deeper. Now, is that guaranteed? No. But it doesn't look good. If business as usual, the stock has a tendency to drop in the first part of the second quarter, yeah, I don't want to get involved with that one. But that's me. Okay, David, this is the third time you asked me about PFG. Okay, first and foremost, Mr. David, I said I read each and every single question. So by you asking me over and over again does not change the fact that we already looked at PFG and we already said no to PFG. So asking it over and over again does nothing but piss me off. Sorry. Givers, takers. Okay, thank you for that. All right, let's keep on going. Okay. Young Wang 457. Good evening. Sean 23488. Good evening. Tiberman XRP, please. Now, Tiberman, I'm not quite sure you understand what we're doing here. It says dividend investing for weekly cash flow, and you take a look at XRP. XRP is not a dividend stock, so it's kind of pointless for me to even take a look at it. Mary June wants to take a look at PBA. What the heck is PBA, Mary June? PBA. Oh, Mary June, you've been here long enough. You know, Mary June, I don't do monthly options. The numbers just don't work. Okay, I like weekly cash flow. Weekly cash flow. Can't get that from a monthly. Okay, April 17, 16 May, 15 August. No, those are months, which means I can only trade it once a month, which is the maximum I'm going to get, what, 12 to 24% a year? Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Okay, I don't like monthlies. Jay wants to take a look at Nike. Lila Lililo. Okay, Lila Lililo. Interesting. Thank you there, Timberman. Jay wants to take a look at Nike, so let's take a look at Nike. NKE. Sorry, dude. We gap down here, and we get, what, 6 days to the downside? Looking for that bottom right there. As soon as you find the bottom on Nike, I'm going to write that one down, because we got 4 stocks that are doing the exact same thing. Actually, more than 4. But 5 or 6 days down, and today being a new 30-day bottom. Well, I like Nike, and I have bought Nike many times this year. But I'm going to wait until it finds the bottom and then turn around before I jump into it. But keep checking back, and we'll see. Do you like it, the computer? Okay. Okay, Juju, yeah, I'll let the hedge funds cover when it's falling, but I'll invest in these strong reversals. Okay. Melodic Angel, Angie, how are you? BJ Austin, what's happening? Sweet Den, what's going on? Which website or software is this on? Okay, I am McQueen. Okay, I am McQueen. This here is called Think or Swim. And it's offered through Charles Schwab. Now, I don't make any money on that. I don't get nothing, or what do you want to call it, from that whatsoever. Okay, but I do like it. I have been using this for 20 years. Christopher Dirtles. Okay. David G, what's going on? Juju. How are you doing, Juju? You want me to take a look at the Qs? All right. Let me show you about the Qs. Now, I'm not going to look at Qs on Thinkorswim. I'm going to look at the Qs on Yahoo Finance. Because you like the Qs so much, Juju, I'm going to guess that you have no idea what it is you're buying or why the hell you're buying it. Okay. Okay, so here's the Qs right here, 468.92. Now, remember I told you I'm looking for consistency and profitability? Well, consistency and profitability would mean that the dividends get higher and higher every year, right? All right, so let's go to 2005, because that would be 20 years. Remember, I like 2 decades. So let's look at the numbers. Juju, you ready? For the Qs. Q, 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 all right? 2005, the first dividend is 4 cents. 4, then it goes to 10. Well, that's pretty freaking awesome. 4 to 10, that's great. Then it goes from 10 to 3. Wait a second. That's not great. 4 to 10, wonderful. 10 to 3, not so good. But then it goes to 3 to 3 to 2 to 5 to 3 to 4 to 3. Explain to me why you think that's good. But hold on. It gets worse. Let's keep on going. 3, and it goes to 4 to 3, backwards again. 5, 3, backwards. 3, 3, 3, no increasing. 4, 5, 4, backwards again. 4, no increasing. 7, 5, backwards. 9, 9, not increasing. 11, 11, 8, backwards. 12, 10, backwards. 16, 5, backwards. How the hell can you say this is good? Okay, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. How can you possibly say that's good? And we're not even in 2012 yet, or 2010. Okay, 11, 8, backwards. 12, 10, backwards. 16, 5, backwards. 11. Okay, but hold on. It gets worse. 11, 14, 20, 37, 16, backwards. 22, 24, 27, 37, 21, backwards. 25, 24, backwards. 39, 25, backwards. 25, 26, 34, 30, 32, backwards. 29, backwards. 29, no increase. 36, 27, backwards. 38, 32, backwards. 33, 28, backwards. 38, 33, backwards. 42, 32, backwards. 42, 30. What the hell, man? This is more backwards than it's going forwards. How can you possibly say that's good? But hold on a second. Hold on, Juju. It actually gets worse. It really does. You ready? Let's go to the summary. Look at that. Instagram turned off. Why the hell did Instagram turn off? Hold on, Mike. Get this thing going again. All right. Let's give it one more shot. All right. So anyway, Juju, let's take a look at the summary for QQQ. Okay. Invesco QQQ Trust. Okay. For $68.92. Do you see this right here, Juju? This is called the yield. The yield, when you invest your money, you get a 1% yield. You're getting, for every $100 you put in, you get $1 back. The yield on this is 0.56. So for every $100 you put in, you're getting 52 cents back. That's not even 1%. Pink Sky, how you doing? That's not even, that's a little over 0.5%. But hold on, look at the year-to-date daily return. -8. -8% so far this year. And if you're lucky, the end of the year, you'll get 0.56. So how can you possibly say QQQ is a good investment? I think not. All right, so we're almost 11:15. Let's take a look at Koshik. How are you doing today? Let's take a look at some of these questions. We got quite a bit. Sweet Den, thank you. Jackpot, what's happening? Nick Talk, good evening. Jim likes Altria, cool beans. I am a queen, think or swim. Thanks, Michael. A cider could be 540 Kruppa. Okay, good evening. Rai, what's your opinion on Lockheed Martin? LMT, right? LMT. LMT, Lockheed Martin. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Sideways, up, down, up, 446. 447 is going from 470 to 5. That's over 1%. Well, let's take a gander. A year ago, 455. The high of the year, 619. That's toward the end of October. Look at the last 90 days. Okay, the last 3 months. The high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. Well, that looks kind of good. All right, last 30 days. Okay, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, interesting. What does it normally do? For that, we need the seasonality chart. Okay, right there. Well, I'm not sure about you, but that doesn't look that bad. Okay, here we are here. A little dip first, and then she shoots up. Well, nice. That looks pretty good. All right, let's get out of there. Now, what would a 447 covered call look like? I'm kind of curious. 447, here it is. One contract. Okay, at the market to open. Here it goes. By one covered call, Lockheed Martin. For April 25. That means it's going to expire this Friday. The 447.50 call option against Lockheed Martin at the market to open. 584 is going to be your profit. Well, it's a nice profit for one contract. But look at what one contract is going to cost you. $44,000 for one contract for Lockheed Martin. That's kind of like a big chunk. Okay, don't bite off more than you can chew. That's a big bite. Finesse, fine sinus stone. Okay, how you doing? All right, so let's take a look at that. 584 is going to be the profit. Clear. 584 is the profit, and it's going to cost 44,166. Comes to a grand total of 1.3%. Well, 1.3% off of 44,000. Well, I can get 1.2% or 1.3% out of Walmart for less than half the money. So for the same amount of money, I could get 2 contracts of Walmart. But I'm still only picking up 1.3%. It's still the same. But twice as many contracts, which means twice as much money. So, I don't know. It's a little bit pricey for me. I don't do Lockheed Martin. I don't do stocks over 250. Doesn't make any sense to me. Austin, good evening to you. Ironhead, they just had a big recall. Okay, Ironhead, I have no idea who you're talking about, but okay. Tyler Schenkel, WDYT. Oh, what do you think? Okay, JP Morgan. Okay, JP Morgan. JPM. Nope. Okay, look at your 30 days. 30 days ago was your high. Here's your bottom right here. So you missed JP Morgan by about 2-3 weeks. Okay, here's the drop. Here's the turn. Goes up. Yeah, now she's coming back down again. Got to wait for a new bottom. Sorry. Hey, Rizzo, what's happening? Watching your 6. Good evening. Think or swim? Absolutely. Melanie, good evening. Pinas, think. Okay. Seraphim Man, good evening. Rashan Moore, good evening. Watching your 6, yes, never mind. I'm not quite sure what you mean, but okay. Maluna, good evening. Yamain, good evening. Tanya. Phineas, you're bidding who has more leverage. You're biting who has more leverage. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Flipper McGee, how are you doing today? Tom Jeffers, good evening. User 9775 54 56 14908. What is the process you go through if a stock is not called away? Well, I just write another covered call against it and collect the dividends. Ooh, Ishmael Moore wants to take a look at Pfizer. Pfizer, PFE. PFE. Oh, is that what I'm looking at? Yeah. Sorry, dude. Take a look at Pfizer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 down days in a row. Looking for a new bottom. What is this? Stock number 8 or 9 that we're looking for a new bottom? Watching your 6. Can you only do this if you have 100 shares? Basically, yes. But watching your 6, you got to remember, there are stocks that are down, below $1, $2, $3 that you can do this with. Not just $100 and $200 stocks. How much of your profits this year? How much are your profits this year? Ryan, good evening to you. Now, Ryan, that's a tough question to answer. Hold on one second. When I say that's a tough answer, question to answer, I have 7 different accounts. Okay? So out of those 7 different accounts, yeah, I make an absurd amount of money using this strategy. So So here's my returns last year. These are all the stock trades I made last year, 2024. Okay, the numbers were a little crazy. Okay. Account number 1 last year, 74%. Account number 2 last year, 63%. Account number 3 last year, 33%. Now, account number 3, we started in July. So that was only 5 months. Okay, but look at 2025 so far. 2025, the numbers are just freaking ridiculous. Okay? Account number 1, up 38%. Account number 2, up 26%. Account number 3, I haven't finished up the numbers yet, but it's probably going to be a freaking weird number like 20 or 30% also. Now, that's just for the first quarter. Okay, all the trades are there. You can see them all. You just click on one. Okay, green is buying, red is selling. That's not good, it's not bad, it's selling and it's buying, okay? So it tells you all the trades. Riley, Intel, US Steel, Intel again, and Macy's that week. Okay, that week was 2.8%. Well, 2.8% is nice for 1 week. Yeah, but all my trades are listed, and you can look at each and every single one. Okay? Riley, Walgreens, Ford. But they're all there. I don't hide anything from anybody. If you want to look, fine, they're there. We're at 11:22. We got a lot more to look at before the night's over. So let's keep on going. Mouse from Takeover Gang. Interesting. Will, at which age you get retired? 59. Angel Eyes, how are you doing today? Watching your 6. Can you do 6? Hussein Zashna, is that right? Imandoon, good evening. Ryan, what is your profits for this year? I just showed you that, Ryan. Okay, Riley, Russian Blue, Kagdala, Borzelsta, Hussein, XRP. I ain't doing XRP, it's not a dividend stock. Danny Alves, okay, 100 years is the grandfather in the industry, age of retirement. Okay, not quite sure what that means, but all right. Jupiter, good evening. Skater Skills, any thoughts on Sunoco? Ooh, let's take a look. S-U-N, Sunoco. Ooh, no. Sorry, Sunoco is a monthly. I don't do monthlies, so that's a no. Sorry. William Russell, good question. Okay, Hussein, XRP. Don't know how many times I got to tell you, XRP is not a dividend stock. DKNG, Dunkin' Donuts, huh? DKNG. DKNG. Hell no. Okay, look at that. There's your top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it gapped down today. Yeah, as soon as you find the bottom on Dunkin' Donuts, DraftKings, yeah, they're not 20 years old. What am I looking at for? I have 80, but do I need 100? Yeah, you do need 100. I bought some puts when it broke down through 36 and then 35. I added thoughts. Okay, Maddie, I don't do DraftKings. They have not been around for 20 years yet. And that's all I'm looking for. Cantley, good evening, Mr. Cantley. Or is it Mr. Cantley? I can't really tell. Okay, Hussein, please stop it. Seriously, I have no interest in XRP at all. Okay, I know some people like it. Some people like cryptocurrency. It doesn't work for me. Do you think Meta is a good stock? Absolutely not. But that's me. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm looking for consistency and profitability. Meta does not even have 3 years of dividends yet. Ski Bum for life. Look at the volume coming in. I see that. Delightcom, good evening to you. Oh, do you like the computer? Cool beanies. Jim Smith, thank you. Brian, Arnold, are you here? I have no idea who Arnold is, but okay. All right. What are you selling puts at? I'm not selling any puts. What are you selling puts at? Not selling any puts. Okay, very repetitive. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what we're doing, Ryan. It's the same things over and over and over again. Okay, some stocks have been trading for over 100 years, and they're still trading over 100 years. What do I think of PSA? Wait a minute, is PSA even on my list? What the heck is PSA? PSA is a no, dude. Okay, when I say weekly options, these are monthly options. That's a no. Sorry. Good day. Nice haircut. Thank you for that, David G. Thank you. Stocks must be hitting. I have no idea what that means. Jay Lee, what's happening? That silver guy, what's going on? Dakota, August West, how are you doing today? Leisani Faith Alexander, good evening. Mary Brown, good evening. Jim 260, I'm looking at the 88 call mine, say break even 89.12. All right, Jim. Okay, you do realize, Jim, there's over 1,000 people here, and to know exactly what you're talking about with just 2 lines, can't help out. SH, Energy Transfer, no. We talked about that earlier. The numbers just don't look that good. Kushik, okay. Crypto analysis, please. I don't do crypto. Terribly sorry, dude. Andre, you have a WhatsApp? No, I do not. Lisa M, I just barely made it here. What about PH? Parker Hannafin. Is that right, Parker Hannafin? Yeah, Parker Hannafin. Sorry, kiddo, it's a monthly. I don't do monthlies. They just don't work. Okay, NVD. Roger, we're going to take a look at that tomorrow. Lawrence Smith, good evening. David M, good evening. Mo, what do I think about NMAX? No, I don't like it. Okay, Fouquet. Okay. Tyler Schenkel, good evening. Central Texas Blade Works, good evening. I've been in Zim at $9. Pays a nice dividend. I don't like Zim even at $9 because the dividend is not as good as you think. Now, Central Texas Blade Works, when I look at dividend stocks, I want 2 decades of consistent profits. Zim doesn't have that. What do I think about Google? Not even 2 years of dividends yet. SNDL, to the moon, insider scoop. Okay, good for you. But has been taking a beating lately. Okay, Mo, can you please look at NMAX? Hell no. He doesn't look at TikTok. Watching your 6. No, I do look at TikTok watching your 6. I told you earlier. Well, you're new here, so you don't really know yet. That's okay. What about FE? What the heck is FE? That's a no also. Sorry. Delika the computer? Oh, Venom, please. Too late. You have to wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day, everyone. Okay, I've been here since 9 o'clock. It's 11:30. I usually quit at 11:30. Let me finish up with these last questions. What do you think the S&P will hit tomorrow? Oh, when do I think I'll hit bottom? Don't know, don't care. It's not on my list. Stock Learner 4, thank you for that. Christopher Page, how are you doing? Lukewarm, thoughts on FNA or Fannie Mae? I bought in 2010 after the crash. Okay. You do know, lukewarm, it's not a profit until you take it. Okay, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. I think we got to be on Patreon or something. Watching your 6? I don't think so. Great job, 90 minutes. Thanks for the list of your books. I purchased one on Kindle. Oh, tell me what you think, Duke of Dudes. 22 Archon, good evening. The Kingdom Coach, good evening to you. All right, David, 2016. Jaybird, let's look at the grift on Diaper Dawn and Elon the Gangster. Wow. Love people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. But okay. Pulang Bunan, good evening. Chris Greenfield, good evening. Do you like Google stock at this price? Nope. I only do stocks that have at least 2 decades of profitability, which means dividends that have consistently increased. The bottom will be about 3 years. Mojave Joe, not quite sure what we're talking about, but okay. Dave Johnson, AGNC, I don't like the numbers on AGNC. Take a look at the premiums when you're 1 or 2 strikes out of the money. It just does not make sense. So it's going to be a no. Dog, what's happening? Uh-oh. This week or following week option. Paul Rod, how does your strategy change as your week shrinks? I have money to spend on Tuesday, Wednesday. I do and I do't. Okay. This week of following week options. Okay, so Paul Rod, good evening. Nice to see you. I usually do my trading on Mondays, sometimes on Tuesdays. I like to do 4 or 5 day options. That way I can be in and out within a week. And then next week, whole different thing. Coach Joel, thank you for that. Back. You've been running it on XLE. Okay. Not something I would do, but more power to you. Gary Migalore. Good evening, ASO. I actually have some ASO, Gary, but we'll take a look at that tomorrow if you're back again tomorrow. Talk, Joel. Do you have to own 100 shares watching your 6? Yes, you do have to have 100 shares. Ben said, if you're holding less than a year, what are your tax implications on your profits? Okay, Ben said, taxes. I always tell people if you have issues on taxes, okay, Delica de Computer. Yes, I do one-on-one training. Okay, DM me with your number. I'll give you a buzz and we'll chat. Thanks for your time and advice. Hugh Johnson, how are you today? Okay, so anyway, Ben said, tax implications. Yeah, I always tell people if you're worried about taxes, you need to talk to a tax strategist. Okay? Now, I don't talk taxes because me and the IRS have an understanding. I leave them alone. They leave me alone. Okay? I canceled my subscription years ago. Let's keep going. Hugh, you're welcome. Crypto Nitty. Sorry to interrupt, sir, but that's a dope shirt. I need one. Would you believe I keep meaning to put these up on the website? Ooh, Atlanta Frenchies. Harley Davidson. I have me some Harley Davidson. Which quantum computing stock do you recommend? None. Jeff Farley, Annalie. Ooh, we looked at that earlier. How do you like Intel? Now, Tanner Riddle, I actually have some Intel, but Intel is an interesting situation this week. Yo, talk about QYLD, please. I comment every night. Never say nothing. Alicia, how are you doing today? And no, you don't comment every night because QYLD is a dog and a half, in my humble opinion. Now, I have a certain strategy that works perfectly fine for me. Some people like QYLD. I don't. Okay, QYLD, the profits are not as good as they'd like you to think, and the rate of return for a year, not as good as you'd like them to be. Real estate, Cozy, Johnson & Johnson. Now, we looked at Johnson & Johnson earlier today. The rate of return is not up there. But if you're okay with getting 24 to 26, 28%, yeah, Johnson & Johnson is your guy. Harshell 1010 Gadget. Okay, hello. Lisa M., you're welcome. And I'm going to give you one of these, Harshell, because you don't seem to listen. Let's do this. All right, that works for me. All right, savor every moment. Ooh, I like that advice. Can you look at RBC? We can look at it tomorrow because we're past time. We already timed out. Jay, thank you. You're welcome. Savor every moment. What do you think of Oracle? Ooh, I like Oracle. Not quite sure what it's doing this week because I haven't looked at it yet. Neroli, what the most cash you can make weekly before? Okay, you're asking the wrong questions, dude. Seriously. Okay, that's not my focus. My focus is simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Okay, purchase 40,000 shares today of DMN at 1.5 cents. Ashton, good for you. I don't do penny stocks. They just don't make sense to me. Luca, why dig stocks and not growth? Because, Luca, I'm retired. Growth is not something I'm looking for anymore. Growth is great until you're at retirement. Once you're at retirement and you don't work anymore, you're not looking for growth. You're looking for cash flow because bills come due every month. Okay? So growth is not going to help me pay the bills. Cash flow is. Okay, Jeff Farley, Annalie, we'll take a look. I think we looked at it earlier today and it was down. Landy Productions. At age of 18, I got a sum of 15,000 and blew it in a matter of months. Any advice? Yeah, don't do that again. Bradley Thomas, so stick to the Kings? No, Bradley, that's not what I said. I said I like the Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, and then everything on Warren Buffett's list. Those 5 lists right there will give you over 300 stocks to look at. Now, you possibly cannot buy all 300 and expect to make something decent. Luca, that's because QQQ is growth. Yeah, I understand that, Luca. I'm not looking for growth. I already said that. And QQQ, you take a good look at the Qs. It's paying 0.5% per year. How can you possibly say QQQ is for growth if it makes 0.5% a year and they're not consistently profitable? Up, down, up, down. Yeah, no, thank you. Got to come at me with something a little bit better than the Qs, Luca. Groove Street for Life. I have no idea what that means. What is QQQ and Groff? Well, I know what the Q's are, but GROF, I have no idea what that is. Felta, good evening. Trinda Life, good evening to you too. Short Tesla, well, you have fun with that one. Bradley Thomas, ABEV, never heard of it. Poe, Archer Aviation, has not been around for 20 years yet. What's your thoughts on AEM? Ask me tomorrow. Alex Buccio, UPS, tomorrow. Cahill Sevar, silent. Do I trade futures? No. I traded futures in the past. Okay, now every futures trader I ask the same question. Do you use the commitment of traders report? And not very many futures traders actually know what the commitment of traders report is. And that just freaking boggles my mind. But look it up. Okay, just by knowing the commitment of traders report and who's buying what, that gives you a great bit of information. Okay, Mark, I don't do crypto. Sweet Dan, Jacko Bedwards. Okay. Anish, thoughts on Ligma stock? Never heard of it. Ask me tomorrow. Hello, what are some early AI stocks to get into now? I don't do AI stocks. Sorry about that. Sage, NMAX, no. Is going to be interesting tomorrow. No shares to borrow. Great IPO today. Never heard of it. Sorry. Okay, TikToker, MSTY, again, one of those companies not 20 years old. No, thank you. Heidi, can you share how to deal with taxes with so many trades? Yeah, write the letter to the IRS, say, thank you for your service. I wish to cancel my subscription. Thank you anyway. Or you can write them a letter and say, hey, Not quite happy with the way you're spending my money, so I'm not going to give you any more. No, I can't. You have to figure out. You need to chat with a tax strategist or tax planner to help you avoid paying taxes legally. Okay? Tyrese, nice to see you this evening, sir. Why can't I give my money to AI? Rick, you can do whatever you want. I wouldn't do it, but more power to you. Is that broadcast about crypto? Nope. As for me, crypto is dangerous because a person can lose everything on it. You're absolutely right. Lisa M., I did try to get a hold of you through Facebook and Messenger and through your website, but I don't know what else I can do to get a hold of you. Lisa M., good evening to you. Now, Lisa M., you're on YouTube. You can go to the bio in YouTube and send me a message, and it goes right to my phone right in front of me. So you're not using the right. If not crypto, then what? Dividend stocks, dude. Okay, dividend stocks, specifically those that are consistently profitable. When I say consistently profitable, I mean 20 years, 2 decades of consistent profitability. Can we subscribe and follow your investments? David, good evening to you, and how are you today? Now, I tell everybody every night, if you really want to talk to me, send me your phone number. I will give you a call. Okay, your best bet is TikTok. Go to TikTok, drop me a DM, and I'll give you a buzz. If not there, go to YouTube. Send a message there. Or go to my website. Send a message there. Somehow, some way, I will get it. Okay? Heidi, can you share how to deal with taxes? We already did that one. Mark, I have about 10 grand to invest personally. What should I do? Okay, Mark, what I always tell people to do is get a paper trading account. Find a trading strategy that you like. Practice, practice, practice until you get good at it. Okay, work the equation backwards. What are you looking to do with your 10 grand? Okay, are you looking to turn it into 100 grand? If so, you're in the wrong place. That's not what I do. I do consistency of profitability, and I'm looking for 1% a week. So 1% of 10 grand is only about $100 a week. Not a lot. Lisa, you can do that. I don't know that I'll have to look at that maybe. I have an old version of YouTube because I don't remember seeing anything like that. Well, you're here right now on live. You should be able to see, click on my picture or my bio and say, how do I get a hold of this guy? Well, my email address right there, and my phone number is actually in YouTube. Really want to see a walkthrough of your technique. Pick any stock. Rudy, we've been doing this all night long. Why don't you do monthly? Big Dragon. Okay, so why don't I do monthly? Because the numbers just don't work. I'll give you an example. First Energy, okay? $40.42. Okay, so let's take a look at May. Okay, $40.42. I'll be looking at the 41s. Okay, so the month of May, current price, $40. The 41's going for 85 cents. That's 2%. Well, that's nice. Well, that's a monthly. 2% a month comes to 24% per year. But this was for 46 days. That's 2 months. So that's 1% a month. Yeah, no thank you. Monthly options just don't work for me. Okay? Now, they work for other people, just not me. I want 1% a week. Weekly options gets me 1% a week. That's why I don't do monthlies. It's not worth my time and effort. Okay, there's 9,976 different companies I can choose from. I only have 2 criteria. That's it, just 2. Consistent profitability and weekly options. That's it. Okay, out of that 9,976 companies, only about 300 fit. Monthlies don't. The numbers just don't work for me. All right, Rudy, I'm going to do this really quick because we're past 11:30. Let's do the gap. What about the gap? No. AT&T? No. John Deere? No. IBM? No. 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 I got to find a good one. Walmart, WMT. All right. All right, Rudy, you ready for this? We're going to do Walmart, WMT. Okay, first thing I want to look at, Rudy, is the 1 year chart. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? What direction is it going? Up, down, sideways. 87.75, looking at the 88s, it's paying 105. Okay, I'm looking to get a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. How am I doing that? Through an insurance policy, also known as a stock option. Okay, stock options were originally insurance policies, protecting those rich people from losing money. Just so happens that someone twisted them around a little bit and we can use them to profit off of on a weekly basis. All right, so Wally World a year ago is at 60 bucks. Shoots up to 105. There's the high. Drops down, going sideways. Here it is right here, making a nice move to the upside. Okay, fine. So the 88s. Okay, I'm going to change it to covered call. There it is, the 88 right here. I'm going to buy that right there. Just one contract. Oops, one contract. There we go. At the market. Here we go. Buy that. This is what it looks like. Buy one covered call of Walmart 100. That's the weeklies. For April 25 means it's going to expire this coming Friday. So, should I get off the pot? Do something. Don't do something. Totally up to you. The 88 call option against the stock at the market to open. Maximum profit $133.50. Now remember I said simple, safe, predictable. Predictable, I already know what I'm going to make before I even do the trade. Okay, simple, it's one of the simplest strategies there is. Safe, it is one of the safest strategies there is. Predictable, I already know. Consistent, well, I can do it every single week because it's a weekly option. Every single week. I can get 133 bucks for each contract. What does that come to? Get my calculator out. Maximum profit, 133.50. 133.50. To find out the rate of return, divide that by the investment, 86.67. Divide 86.67. Comes to a grand total of 1.54. 1.54. That's up 1.5%. For 1 week, actually for 4 days, because we already missed out on Monday. Okay, Monday, first thing this morning, that would have been a higher number. But now we're on Tuesday, we lost 20%. You have 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to get 100% of the weekly time value. 9:30 a.m. Monday morning, the soonest you can buy one. 4 o'clock Friday afternoon, that's 5 days of time value. Well, Monday's gone. You just lost 20%. There's only 4 days left. Okay, and this is given 1.5%. So 1.5% every single week, well, multiply that by 52, because there's 52 weeks in a year. You're looking at 80% rate of return if you do 1.5% every week. Well, I like 1.5% every week. That works for me. 80% a year? Yeah, I could be happy with 80% a year. So, Rudy, hopefully that was quick and easy for you. It's not that difficult. Okay? Big Dragon, why don't you do monthly? Because the numbers don't work. Brandon S. Space. What about CRWV? We'll have to do that tomorrow. Lashar, good evening. I can't read that one. Big back trick GameStop is a scam. All right, I don't do that one. No phone number. I must have an old version of YouTube. My first text went wrong. Okay. How do I learn this trade? Mark, good evening. Keep coming back, Mark. I'm past my time for tonight, so I'm just answering up questions. We don't have that many left to go. How do I contact to speak to you personally? Yeah, send me your number and I'll give you a buzz. I have looked all over YouTube for your phone number. You actually got to go into, what do you call it? Into the bio, The 10-Minute Trader. Okay, so let's go here for a second. Lisa, you ready for this? All right, here we go. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of there. Let's go over to here. Let's go. The 10-Minute Trader. Here we go. You ready, Lisa? Here it is. The 10-Minute Trader. The10MinuteTrader.com. Okay, you slide on down. Okay, learn more about the strategy. It gives you a little PDF on what it's doing. You can join out my morning trading group. Current trades, I got to fix that. View all. Where is the question? Down here. Right there. Look at that. There. Get in touch with us. Right there. Okay, The 10-Minute Trader. Do some research on me. Go ahead. Dare you. You'll find that I've had the 10-Minute Trader for almost 20 years. Almost. Probably more like 15 or 16. Why don't invest in monthly? You already did that one. ConocoPhillips. Ooh, isn't that PSX? I think it is. APA. Ooh, I like Apache. Check it with me tomorrow. Thank you, James. Good night. Well, Chris Moneymaker. Rudy, can you walk through a trade for tomorrow, please? No, because it's past 11:30, dude. Sorry. I missed the email this morning for the Zoom meeting. Oh, Lazar, how could you miss that? I sent it out last night. Where are you pulling your questions from TikTok? Where? They're just in the queue. They just pop up. Can you walk through your next trade? Maybe tomorrow. Rudy G, just ask one time or he gets upset. Well, think of it this way. You can ask me 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times. I don't know why. I answer each and every individual question. You ask me that question 4 or 5 times. Okay, if I said no the first time, what makes you think the second, third, or fourth time is going to make me change my mind? Okay, you asked me, can I walk through a trade? I already did. I showed you how it went. Okay. Lashar, he's picking questions up from TikTok. Yes, I am. It just takes a while to get to them. Rudy, cool beans. I've never had him grab one of my questions. I thought maybe he was using others. No, Rudy, I'm reading all of them. NAK, maybe tomorrow. Lisa, I did send you a message through the 10-Minute Trader. However, you'll get it as a person named Charlotte because I don't use my full real name online. All right, Lisa, that makes sense. Join his Patreon if you want to see him do trades. Yeah, that actually works. Lashar, same name. I don't see any of these questions he's reading on my chat. Okay, Rudy, I can't help you out with that one, dude. Rudy, you want to take a look at Ford? Maybe tomorrow. Awesome, thank you. Lumina, Ford, maybe tomorrow. My apologies. Hey, Rudy, it takes me a while to get to all of them. Last question. You never lose? Well, I'm like, hold on a second, Rudy. I got something to show you. Whoops. Let's go here. Okay, this is this year. Okay, so Rudy, these are all the trades I've made so far this year. Okay. Week 1, quarter 1, December 30th to January 3rd. That's the first week of the year. Okay, under here, you'll see all the percentages. 6.1 in this account, 1.8 here, 4.2 here. Now, I have 7 different accounts. I only share 3 of them publicly. Okay, terribly sorry if you're not okay with that. But, I do have to draw the line somewhere. But, if you take a look at each and every single one, every one is over 1%, except for week number 12. Where's week number 12? Right there. Okay, account 1, 0.39. I didn't make 1% on week number 12. Account number 2, 0.62. Now, I haven't done the calculations on account number 3 yet, but it is probably going to be about the same. So, yeah, every single week this year, okay, look at, okay, here's week 13. Okay, 1.3, 1.25. But look at the other weeks. Week 11, 2.8, 2.3. Week 10, 4.9. I did that, the math 5 times on this one. $8,400, 4.9% on here. On March 3rd through the 7th. See, March 3rd to the 7th, 4.9. But look at this one, 7,900. The same week. Okay, 79 here, count 1. 84 this account. I haven't done this account yet, but I'm going to get to that one. So yeah, the numbers are freaking ridiculous. Last question. You never lose. So this year, so far, here's my loss right there, week 12. You want to count that a loss? Be my guest. Account 1, I only made $840 on account number 1. Okay, 0.39. Horrible, I know. Tell me about it. Account number 2, 0.62. I only made $1,100 that week in that account. That's my loss for the year. Now, did I actually lose anything? No. I have 0 losses so far this year. 0. Okay, you can take a look at every single one of my trades. 0 losses so far this year. That's over 100 trades. Well over 100. You said you know what your profit is before you trade. What causes the variation? I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. When I say I know what my profit is before I do the trade, okay, see that right there? Max profit. I know exactly what my profit's going to be before I do the trade. Every single time I make a trade, I do the exact same thing over and over again. I look at the 1-year chart. I look at the 90-day chart. I look at the 30-day chart. I look at the seasonality. I look at the numbers. Am I going to get my 1%? Great. Let's throw up the trade. Well, there it is right there. $1,330. What was it costing me? $8,600 or $86,000. Okay, that's to buy 1,000 shares of Walmart. $86,000. I'm making $1,300. So what exactly is that? Let's get the calculator out. Clear that. $1,330 divided by $86,676 comes to a grand total of 1.5%. See, I know this amount, 1.5%, before I even do the trade. Because after that, all right, let's get out of that. I hit the send button, and that sends it in. And as a market order, the stock and the option are joined together. So I know exactly what I'm making before I even do the trade. So if it sounds right, I'll do it. If it doesn't sound right, I won't do it. Okay, rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Defeats the purpose. All right, it's almost 12 o'clock. I'm half hour past my bedtime. You guys have a great day. Lisa M. I'll give you a buzz tomorrow, Lisa. Mark McCowan. My information has been sent to you. Looking forward for your feedback. You got it? K-Oak. How big in money are your trades usually, and what kind of setups do you trade off of? So you don't short or long stocks, because that seems like bad R&R. Okay, so K-Oak, I only do covered calls here. Okay, I'm giving this information away for free. That's all I do. You mentioned your method is extremely interesting. I will be watching you more. Thank you. You're welcome, Rudy. Thank you. Lindarella, good evening. You're just leaving? All right, it's midnight. I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. All right, so K-Oak, I have a certain strategy, and that's it. Okay, I could sit in front of my computer all day long. I have no desire to do that. I have other things that I want to do. I'm 61. Clock is ticking, and it's not very favorable. So yeah. Michael Johnson, can't invest, you're broke. Terribly sorry, dude. I was there once myself. All right, that being said, you guys have a nice day. We are out of here for tonight. Instagram, you guys have a nice day. And you guys on TikTok, have a nice night. We'll see you again tomorrow. And you guys over here on YouTube, you have a nice night also.